I love my Nintendo Switch. I love that I can walk around wherever I want with a gaming system that has so much power, can play so many games. And with games like MLB The Show 22 and the garbage Legacy Edition of FIFA 22 on Switch now, it gets me thinking, like, why can't and why hasn't NHL 21, NHL 22, and NHL 23, I'm sure of it coming up, never been on the Nintendo Switch? I remember back in the day playing NHL 07 on my PSP back in the day. I loved doing that. It was so much fun. And honestly, I want nothing more than to be able to play GM mode, franchise mode, or be a pro on the go, dude. This is the game that I want the most on the Nintendo Switch. And it seems like EA has had no desire whatsoever to do it. And the longer that I see Madden not being on the Switch, it gives me less and less hope for the NHL franchise being on the Nintendo Switch. And it's just such a royal shame, man. I want it so bad, and so many of us do, honestly. Like, I think that's so bogus that the NHL franchise is only on Series X. It's only on PS5, PS4, and Xbox One, and even that won't be for that long. Just you wait. If it keeps going like this, the future NHL games, it's only going to be PS5 and Series X. That's it. Good night. And I can't accept that. I really, if MLB The Show can be thrown onto the Switch after being a Sony PlayStation exclusive not too long ago, just a couple years back, why can't NHL come to the Nintendo Switch? There's no good reason for it. There's excuses, okay? EA and even some fans will make a ton of excuses. Oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. But at the end of the day, there should be no reason why this game is not on the Nintendo Switch. And honestly, at this point, it's just plain stupid. Whatever the reason is, why are you wasting away and honestly not taking advantage of all this free money you could reach with people who only have Nintendo Switches? People who would exactly fit the criteria for loving NHL, okay? There's so many 13, 14, 15-year-old kids who just have a Nintendo Switch and nothing else, okay? If you could tap into this market, if you could go in there and say, hey, NHL is on Switch, do you know how much extra money you could make for the NHL franchise? EA, you're all about squeezing every dollar. How are you not on this? I don't get it. Okay, and this is money that they could use to make the next games of NHL 24, 25, 26 even better. That's what frustrates me the most, is that putting this game on Switch would help make it less of a recycled product every year. They would have more money to work with, because that's their big thing, isn't it? Isn't that why? That's their excuse why the NHL games are so similar year after year? Oh, well, we don't have as much money as NBA 2K. We don't have as much money as FIFA. We can't do the things that they can do. Well, you're not taking advantage of any opportunities. You're staying boxed in. Of course you don't have any extra money when you're just selling this game on PS5 and Series X and PS4 and Xbox One. That's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I look at the product that I have on my Series X for NHL 22, and I go back and I look at the old NHL games like 2K10 that I played on my Nintendo Wii, and I think there's no reason this NHL 22 can't be on the Switch. There's absolutely no good reason whatsoever. They need to do this. And I know this has turned into a bit of a rant, but I'm passionate about this because to me, this has to happen, and I can't believe it hasn't yet. But yeah, that's just my little rant for why I want this thing on the Switch, why it needs to be on the Switch, for NHL to even survive and keep it growing and being better, because I'm sick and tired of playing the same franchise mode, the same Be a Pro mode. Yeah, they make little tweaks here and there. I think it was 21 that they added the cutscenes and everything in Be a Pro. They've tried different stuff, but man, has it not been enough. Okay, it really has it. This thing needs to change. We've had the same Stanley Cup celebration for how many years? They changed it a few years back, and it was so lazy. Okay, they need to innovate a little bit here, and I know that they need money to do that. But again, they're boxing themselves in. EA, wake up.